Hello, everybody. Daniel Feuerstein here for Beyond the 90 as I discuss at the moment a conundrum for the U.S. men's national team. Now, obviously, we all saw what happened in the CONCACAF Nations League, both in the semifinal matchup against Panama and the third place matchup against Canada. No heart, no passion, no energy, except for that Canada game where you saw it from two players who got the start, and that was, of course, from Charlotte FC's striker Patrick Aubameyang and from Real Salt Lake, the midfielder Diego Luna. They showed more heart and passion in that match against Canada than the entire team did combined. And it's a problem. It's a conundrum. It's just disheartening to see our players going out there and not giving it their all, completely not giving it their all. And you know what? It's really hard for me to sit there, not just as a member of the media covering American soccer, but, look, I was a fan before I was into the media. So, seeing what they were able to do, or in this case, not doing against Panama and against Canada, it's absolutely a disgrace. It is just shambles right in front of us. And these players need to understand something here. They need to understand something. And that is this. If you are going to be considered one of the top national teams in the world, you have to perform in your confederation. Okay? This is where we're located. This is where we are. There's nothing we can do about it. The U.S. men's national team needs to understand, regardless of where you play your club game, whether you play in Major League Soccer, you play abroad either in the Premier League in England, the Bundesliga in Germany, Serie A in Italy, La Liga in Spain, Scottish Premier League in Scotland, French Ligue 1 in France, the Eredivisie in the Netherlands. I don't care where you play. You can play in the top division in Romania, in Hungary, in Switzerland, in Israel, in Russia. Hell, if you play in Afghanistan in the top league, or if you play in Morocco in the top league, or in Turkey in the top league, as long as you're getting minutes, I don't care. It's fine. And I understand how some of you are going to say to me, well, the top four leagues in the world are Italy, England, Spain, and Germany. Yeah, I understand that, but we can't throw away precious minutes, regardless of where our players are playing. And especially when you be taking on these teams in CONCACAF, I mean, you have to take a look and be serious about who you're facing against. You cannot assume you're going to take them down all by yourselves. That's just not how it works. Just because you put on the shirt and you say, oh, look at us. We're the mighty USA. We're the mighty U.S. men's national team. We're going to come in and we're going to take you down and you won't survive. And guess what they're going to do? Oh, yeah? Watch this. And that's what Panama did. And you have to also understand something here. And I want everyone to understand this. And if you listen to other people talking to you about what's going on here, it's no longer about where you play. It's no longer about how you play. If you get selected for the U.S. men's national team, be ready. When you put on, and I don't have the jersey on me at the moment, obviously, but let's just say for the hell of it, right here in my heart is the USA men's national team crest, whether it's the current one or the old one. Regardless, you must have passion, heart, commitment. You must bleed for the crest on your chest and pretend your American flag is draped around your shoulders and your neck. because you're speaking not just for yourselves, not just for your teammates, you're speaking for all of us, Americans, American soccer fans. And you also have to understand in this confederation of CONCACAF, yes, there are more minnow teams than there are hard teams, tough teams, teams that can definitely challenge you. Because in the past, it was always those teams from Central America, Mexico, Trinidad and Tobago, and Jamaica were the best teams, while the U.S. men's national team would always be floundering and no one would care. And the same thing also goes for Canada, too. And then you see Canada improving. You're seeing Panama improving. Yeah, Mexico flailed, but you bring back Javier Aguirre, and look what they do now. And he sees who he needs to bring in, and he does it the right way. And now you have, I believe it's Raul Jimenez, who's coming in as their new number 9, and he's scoring goals like there's no tomorrow. And Mexico all of a sudden is back to where they should be. Now, I don't know how much longer Mexico can go with Raul Jimenez if no one else is converting chances. But if he's the only one, then I think that's the only weakness that's the only strength they have, and the rest are weakness. But we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen there. But, you know, these guys, Christian Pulisic, Yunus Musa play at AC Milan. Tim Weah, Weston McKennie plays at Juventus. Josh Sargent plays at Norwich. Tyler Adams plays in Bournemouth. Now, obviously, it's hard to see players injured like Serginho Dest, Ricardo Pepe, Anthony Robinson, but where's the passion for the shirt? And here's another thing, too, that people need to understand here, and this is aimed towards all of you who are U.S. men's national team fans, who you're the ones that are saying only Americans who play abroad should be on the men's national team, no one from MLS. Well, 2 MLS players against Canada showed passion. And here's the other thing you guys need to understand as well, okay? There's going to be national teams now in our confederation that wants to improve and be better. As much as Trinidad and Tobago flounders in the Caribbean zone, Jamaica just improved themselves with a new manager from England. Curacao, who had a great start, floundered, came back because they are a Dutch colony. Who did they bring over? A former Dutch national team head coach in Dick Advocaat. And Advocaat right now has gotten them to become something special. Look at Thomas Christensen, what he's done for Panama. And he's done it 3 times against the U.S. men's national team in tournaments. Not friendlies, tournaments. CONCACAF Gold Cup semifinals against B.J. Callahan. Copa America group stage against Greg Berhalter. And even though he lost in a friendly to the United States in Austin last year, October, when Mauricio Pochettino took over, he just beat Pochettino now. 1-0. Because why? Because these managers are bringing in better energy and doing things that no one thought that they could do for these national teams. And now look at Canada. Look what's happened in Canada. And it did get started with John Herdman. And then after he was unceremoniously relieved of his duties, or he quit Canada to go coach Toronto, and then of course we found out why Herdman was giving Canada all this great moments and stuff. Here comes Jesse Marsh, an American. And look what he's done for Canada. He's led them to a 3rd-place finish at the Copa America last summer, and now a 3rd-place finish in the CONCACAF Nations League here, and now there's going to be a Gold Cup this summer. And while there are some issues I would say with Pochettino, if we could be honest, they're only minimal. Substitutions, obviously, is one of them, but the rest falls on the shoulders of the players. And the players need to be held more accountable right now than the players do. And I know some of you are saying, well, you look what Greg Berhalter's doing in Chicago with the fire right now. I'm sorry. No, no, no. You cannot compare what Berhalter's doing in the club game to what he could not do in the international game. Greg Berhalter failed as an international head coach. Yes, he shows passion against Mexico because it's the rivalry. You have to. It's the El Clasico in CONCACAF. You have to show passion against Mexico. And for Canada, it's also a rivalry. But it's even more so because Jesse Marsh, an American, is telling U.S. Soccer, well, you should have hired me for this current cycle, but you had to go back and go get Greg. And he's proving a point already. In 2 games, he's proven a point. A friendly, and now the third place match in this past CONCACAF Nations League. And he wants to go for the hat trick in the Gold Cup if the US and Canada do meet somewhere in the knockout stages of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. National teams in this region are going to improve. Dominican Republic, a clean sweep in the CONCACAF Nations League in their group in League B. They could be a team that's on the rise. We don't know this, but the U.S. men's national team must go out there, and they must, I stress this, they must not fall victim to their own beliefs that it's a cakewalk, because it's not. This confederation, granted, not as strong as CONMEBOL in South America, not as strong as UEFA in Europe, maybe even 4th right now behind Africa in CAF. But I'm telling you this right now, telling all of you this right now, cannot take any national team for granted. I don't care how weak they are, like Bonaire, like British Virgin Islands, like Aruba, Montserrat, or U.S. Virgin Islands. Because right now, these teams outside of Mexico and Canada in the North Zone, Costa Rica will be there. Panama is now becoming a power. Jamaica is looking good. Trinidad and Tobago has their ups and downs, but it's mostly been downs. And Curacao is building back up. Dominican Republic could start becoming a power too in the Caribbean. So it's not just Mauricio Pochettino to get it through their thick skulls. They have to get it themselves. And if they don't get it themselves, well, you know what's going to happen? We're going to get the same thing that's going to happen in a Gold Cup and also in a World Cup, like we just saw this past international window in the CONCACAF Nations League. This national team cannot do this again. Pardon my language, they cannot have another brain fart. I'm Daniel Feuerstein for Beyond the 90. Thank you very much for watching this video. You can also check out this video as well on our YouTube page. And of course, you can listen to our audio podcasts through Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Don't forget to read our articles here along with Carter Krishnaiyer, Jonathan Starling, Alex Ashton, The Rooster and the Villain, Brett Molnix, and many other writers here at Beyond the 90 and the other websites that are associated as well as we continue to cover the U.S. men's and women's national teams, the youth national teams, CONCACAF events, World Cup qualifying, and the U.S. Open Cup. Once again, I'm Daniel Feuerstein for Beyond the 90. Thank you very much for watching me tonight or listening to this podcast. Thank you very much and have a good night. Bye-bye for now.